Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, where you receive real and authentic updates about the Iraqi Dinar. If you want to stay informed with moment-by-moment developments, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. In today's update, we're going to carefully analyze recent circulating claims about potential timelines for Iraqi Dinar-related developments, particularly those suggesting that some form of exchange window or significant monetary event could occur within a very short time frame. According to the information being discussed, there are two separate timelines coming from different sources. One suggests that developments could occur within a 3 to 5 day window starting from Tuesday, while another points towards specific dates, namely the 11th, 12th, and 13th, which fall over the weekend into early next week. Now, as always, our goal here is not to promote speculation or create unrealistic expectations, but rather to break down what these types of claims typically mean within the broader context of Iraq's economic framework, monetary policy, and current financial reforms. First, it is important to understand that unofficial sources and short-term timelines are very common within the dinar community. These claims often emerge during periods when there is heightened attention on Iraq's economic reforms, banking sector modernization, or fiscal policy adjustments. However, in professional financial analysis, such timelines must always be treated with caution, unless they are supported by verifiable statements from official institutions, such as Iraq's central bank, government ministries, or internationally recognized financial organizations. When we look at the idea of exchanges beginning, this phrase is often interpreted by some as a sudden and immediate revaluation or redenomination of the Iraqi dinar. However, in reality, currency valuation changes, especially in emerging or oil dependent economies, are typically gradual, policy-driven, and tied to measurable economic indicators. These include foreign reserves, inflation stability, exchange rate mechanisms, and integration with global financial systems. So what could these short timelines realistically represent? One possibility is that they reflect internal administrative or procedural milestones rather than a public currency event. For example, Iraq has been actively working on improving its banking infrastructure, digitizing payment systems, and strengthening compliance with international financial standards. These processes often occur in phases, and insiders or observers may interpret certain deadlines as significant turning points, even if they do not directly translate into a visible change in the exchange rate. Another possibility is that these timelines are linked to ongoing fiscal or legislative developments. Iraq's government frequently operates within budget cycles, parliamentary sessions, and policy review periods. If there are expectations around budget approvals, oil revenue adjustments, or public spending reforms, these could indirectly influence market sentiment around the dinar, even though they do not immediately alter its official value. It's also worth noting that weekends and early week timelines, like the 11th through the 13th, are often highlighted in speculative discussions because financial systems and banking updates sometimes occur outside of peak trading hours. However, major currency policy shifts are typically communicated clearly and formally, not through informal leaks or vague timelines. Now let's talk about the short-term implications of this type of news. In the immediate term, the circulation of these timelines can increase attention and discussion within the dinar community. This can lead to heightened expectations, which may not always align with actual economic developments. For viewers and followers, it is important to remain grounded and rely on confirmed data rather than unverified projections. From a market perspective, Iraq's official exchange rate remains managed by its central bank, and any adjustments are made within a controlled framework. Sudden, dramatic changes are unlikely without a strong foundation of economic indicators supporting such a move. These indicators include stable oil revenues, controlled inflation, strong foreign currency reserves, and continued progress in financial sector reforms. Looking at the broader economic context, Iraq has made measurable progress in recent years. Oil exports continue to be a major source of revenue, and there have been ongoing efforts to diversify the economy, reduce reliance on cash transactions, and improve transparency in financial operations. These are positive signs, but they represent long-term structural development rather than immediate triggers for rapid currency revaluation. Now let's consider the longer-term implications. Over time, the value and stability of the Iraqi dinar would depend on sustained economic growth, political stability, and successful integration into global financial systems. This includes maintaining strong relationships with international financial institutions, adhering to global banking standards, and continuing to modernize the country's financial infrastructure. If Iraq continues on this path, It could gradually strengthen investor confidence and improve the overall perception of its currency. However, this is a process that unfolds over years, not days. Short-term timelines, especially those based on unnamed sources, do not typically capture the complexity of these developments. It is also important to address the psychological aspect of these kinds of updates. When people hear that something could happen within 3 to 5 days or on specific upcoming dates, it naturally creates a sense of urgency. But in financial markets, urgency without verified information can lead to misinterpretation and unrealistic expectations. Responsible analysis requires patience, verification, and a clear understanding of how monetary systems actually function. For those following the Iraqi dinar closely, the key takeaway is this: stay informed, but stay cautious. Focus on official announcements, economic data, and policy changes that can be independently verified. Avoid making decisions based solely on short-term predictions or speculative timelines. As we move forward over the coming days, including the dates that have been mentioned, it will be important to watch for any official statements from Iraq's central bank or government. If there are genuine developments, they will be communicated through formal channels and will likely be accompanied by clear explanations of their purpose and impact. Until then, these timelines should be viewed as unconfirmed and interpreted within the broader context of ongoing economic reforms rather than as definitive indicators of immediate change. In summary, while the idea that "we're getting close" may reflect growing attention on Iraq's financial progress, it does not necessarily mean that a major currency event is imminent within the next few days. Real economic transformation is driven by policy, data, and sustained reform, not by short-term speculation. As always, our goal is to provide you with balanced, factual, and responsible analysis so you can stay informed without being misled by hype or unrealistic expectations. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more responsible and factual Iraqi dinar updates. And remember, this content is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice.